I don't even remember when it started. Nightmares haunt me like a demon. Every time I am in a dream, I am lying in bed, and I hear someone snoring in the room. That sound is very creepy, especially scary. When I open my eyes, I see a strange man lying on me and kissing me. I want to scream, but my throat is blocked, and I can't make a sound at all. The man also put on a pair of gloves, and then grabbed me and began to bite my flesh. That pain is soon imaginable. I was swallowed by a little bit, until my bones were exposed, and then I screamed and was scared to death. One day, my mother took me to the hospital for a checkup, but the doctor said I was perfectly fine. Maybe it was too much mental pressure that caused such a nightmare. But after that, the same nightmare came to me again and again. In that dream, just before that man was about to bring me to life, he actually spoke. Relax a little bit. Maybe I was too scared and my body was stiff. He called and bite. And then he gave up. I let go. But the nightmare was still going on. Every night, different men appeared in my dream, tossing and turning on me one by one. I chased one away and another came. They all look weird. The way they act is even more scary. There was a man who bit my hair like a grasshopper. When I woke up, I could feel the pain of my hair being pulled out, and my hair was still there. The next night, another man came. He was holding a huge watermelon and smashed it directly on my face from the ceiling. My nose was broken. I had a sore foot all night. There was also a man who pierced my whole body with a needle. I was pierced with more than 10 needles. After that, he clapped and shouted. He seemed to enjoy it. I felt like I was about to collapse. Then I went to see a psychiatrist and told him that every night there was a strange man in my dream. Had tortured me like I was in hell and begged him to help me. But the doctor told me jokingly that it was just a dream. It's normal, no matter how scary it is. It's just a dream. Maybe those people came from another world and thought you were funny, so they played with you. After that, they left at me. I almost went crazy after hearing it. Then I woke up screaming for a while. I found myself in the hospital. My mother was also there. But suddenly, my mother's face turned into a monster. She pinched my neck and shouted, "Get out, get out." I felt like I was about to suffocate. Then I slowly passed out. For a while, I kept seeing the doctor. The doctor just told me to have a good rest and replenish my energy. But the nightmare tortured me so much that I couldn't tell the dream from reality. I was in a greater panic. The behavior of those people in the dream is always so scary. When they see me injured, they will be excited to stop me. I screamed. They also imitated me and screamed. These strange behaviors are completely different from normal people. It's really like coming from another world. I thought maybe I just had to see if the behavior of the people around me was normal and he could tell if it was a dream or reality. That day, I saw a woman on the street. When I walked closer, she was as beautiful as a fairy. I went up to say hello to her, but she spat at me. This reaction is too unusual. I am sure it's definitely a dream. Since it's a dream, I can do anything. So I decided to pursue her. I walked into a jewelry store and stole a lot of jewelry for her. She happily jumped up. Our love is about to begin, but at this moment, I heard the siren. But I didn't care at all, because it was just a dream. So when the police came to arrest me, I fought back. They took out a police stick and greeted me mercilessly. I was knocked down. When I opened my eyes, I found myself on the sickbed again. Could it be that it wasn't a dream before? I can't be so frivolous in the future. Even in a dream, you have to be careful. Unexpectedly, I haven't had nightmares since then. But some things are still very strange. Someone will stop on the street and stare at me for no reason. It's like a human model standing still. When I look at them, they will run away very fast. Even my family and friends look at me like monsters. No matter how I question it, they just ignore me. Every night, there are some inexplicable people visiting me house. They will break into my room, grab me and torture me, brush my body with oil paint, knock my bones with a hammer. Someone tried to flush me with a pipe. Although I drove them out every time, they would come back in a few days. I called the police, but they couldn't catch these people at all. I had to see a psychiatrist again. The doctor thought I might have delusional disorder or some kind of mental disorder. But the treatment didn't improve. I've had a bad day for 3 years. One day I woke up and saw a warm and bright sun shining through the window. At that moment, I realized that I had never seen the sun for the past 3 years. After a headache and depression, all memory fragments were put together. I woke up like a dream. I thought I had been in a dream for 3 years, because I looked at the sun. Only one day had passed. I cried my eyes out and finally returned to the real world. After a long period of psychological treatment, the doctor said I was much better. I was luckier than before. I never had a nightmare again, and I didn't fall into the panic of being indistinguishable from reality. Booty am still afraid of dreaming. I am afraid I'll never come back. This is something that happened to me when I was 10 years old. At that time, we went to school at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I could get home at about 4:30 to 5. When I got home, I would drink a glass of water first, then change my clothes, and then go out to play with my friends. Our favorite game is hide and seek. After we were tired that day, we lay on the grass and tell cat about our favorite and least favorite animals. One of my friends said he hated lizard the most. The other 2 friends said they hated cockroaches, because cockroaches were too dirty. Then Samin turned around and asked me, "What about you? What animal do you hate?" I said I hated frogs. Then they asked why. I said it was simply annoying. I don't know why. But I didn't expect them to imitate the look of a frog. They made everyone laugh. It was getting late. We said goodbye to each other and went home. The place we played was not far from my house. It took about 200 steps to get there. When I got home, I heard the sound of scratching near the window of the bedroom. I knew it was a frog, but I didn't care too much, so I went straight to the bathroom to take a shower. After taking a shower and eating, I asked my dad, "Where's my mom? Why isn't she back yet?" My dad said my mom would be back late today. I yelled, "Keep eating." After eating, I brushed my teeth, and I went back to my room to sleep. When I lay down, I heard the sound of scratching near the window again. I didn't take it seriously. After all, there was no curtain in my room window, so I could clearly see the situation outside the house. I took a look. It was a little early in the morning. I thought my mom should be home by now. At that time, the only light source in the room was moonlight. I turned my body to the window. As a result, my heart was beating so fast that the whole body was frozen. I couldn't move. I saw a human-shaped frog lying next to the window, staring at me. But I pretended to be calm and pretended not to see it. This human-shaped frog opened its eyes like that and stood still for a while. A minute later, it started to jump up and kept jumping, just like waving at me. After a long time, it stopped jumping and slowly walked away. I was so scared that I fell asleep around 2 o'clock in the morning. The next morning, I went to that place where I saw the human-shaped frog last night. What surprised me was that there was a very deep hole there. I can't forget this. I still feel scared now. Did I really see the frog? I live in the suburbs, born into a devout Buddhist family. About a year ago, something big happened to my family. A friend of mine who has a close relationship with my family had a strange accident and unfortunately passed away. This is a huge loss for all of us, especially for my dad. They are the best friends. Now, his 1-year anniversary is coming. According to our custom, we have to hold a ceremony for him and send his soul to where it should go. Why? Because it is said that those who die too early due to accidents will be reluctant to leave their souls and want to stay in this world for a few more days. Just one night before the ceremony, I woke up in the middle of the night. I felt very thirsty, so I went downstairs to drink water. There are 3 floors in my house. I live on the second floor, and my parents live on the 3rd floor. The stairs are connected to these 2 floors. After drinking water, I was about to go upstairs, but I accidentally stepped on the stairs. Hey! I saw a man's silhouette. I thought it must be my dad. He often comes down to check at night. Especially recently when my grandfather just finished his surgery and went home. I just said, "Good night, Dad." But when I got back to my room, lying on the bed, the more I thought about it, the more I felt something was wrong. I thought about it carefully. No. When I said hello, that man didn't answer me at all. He just stood there quietly. I thought at that time, maybe he didn't hear me, or he was too tired and ignored me, so he didn't take it to heart. And then he fell asleep. The next morning, I got up to have breakfast. I found my dad sitting next to the table. I just asked casually, "Dad, why didn't you come down the stairs last night?" My dad looked at me fiercely and said, I didn't stand there. I was busy working last night, and I didn't go downstairs at all. At this time, my grandmother also heard our conversation. Her face changed suddenly. Seriously, that might be the soul of our friend trying to contact us. But we can't admit his existence, because people who die too early often take their loved ones or loved things. When I heard this, I felt sad. I quickly told my grandmother about what happened last night. After hearing it, my grandmother sighed and said, "That must be the soul thought you were talking to someone else, because you thought it was your dad. You have to pray and ask the gods to bless you." Although I did what my grandmother said, I was so angry that I couldn't concentrate. Until now, I am thinking if I went upstairs and looked at the figure closely, what would happen? Who is that man? Is he the soul of the past? Or am I hallucinating? Everything is like a fog covering my heart.